is an Interreg 4C project, a 2-year project also. It's called a capitalization project. I was told when we visited a communication conference in Berlin, Britt-Marie and I, that capitalization is an invented English word. It's not really used in the English language. But the meaning of it is that we are not doing any field work. We're not engaging companies or entrepreneurs. We are using knowledge from other projects and organizations that are running, that are working in this field that we are addressing. So that's also part of the reason that it's a 2-year project, that we are to search for good practices and to transfer good practices. The total budget is on 2.3 million euros, so it's quite a big project. We have many partners. The partners in this project are from 8 countries. That's why we call it WINET 8. It's Women in Net 8, the full name. And the countries are Sweden, Finland, Poland, Bulgaria, Greece, Italy, Portugal, and Scotland. And we have, well, originally we had 20 partners in these countries, and a lot of the partners are from Sweden, as you see here. The National Resource Center, as you know, is now called WINET Sweden, but this was made before. And also Saga is a partner that is now WINET Gävleborg. The University of Stettin is one of the partners, as was mentioned before. But we also have 2 other partners in Poland. We are 8 countries representing 9 regions on the NUTS 2 level, if that's familiar for you. It's the European definition of the regions. In Sweden, that is North Middle Sweden with Gävleborg, Dalarna, and Värmland. Bulgaria, Italy, you see here. We had 3 partners when we started in Italy, but 2 of them never really entered the project. So from the 20, we are now 18, and we also have had some difficulties with the Bulgarians, but they have now re-entered. We have, as many of the other Interreg projects, of course, been affected by the economic crisis in some of these countries, especially Greece, Portugal, and Bulgaria, that they've had trouble with joining in all the activities. Well, the background of this project, I want to mention FEM, that's been mentioned several times today. That was some of the partners also were part of FEM. But the starting point was the Nordic conference for WINET Europe in the autumn of 2007, and one of the initiatives taken was Danuta Hübner, who will be speaking after lunch today. She was then the commissioner for this field. Further lobbying was made by WINET Sweden, the National Resource Center, and it was also supported by the Swedish Agency of Economic and Regional Growth. And the municipality of Älvdalen was not really a partner to start with when the application was made and so on. Although the lobbying was made, but was asked to take the lead partner and accepted that. The priority with this project is to address the low employment rates among women, the horizontally segregated labor market, that's what we've been hearing a lot of today, the lack of women in entrepreneurship, and the lack of women in innovation and technology. and there with the resource centers, the women resource centers, as a method of addressing these problems. The methods and the goals of the project is, as I mentioned first, to identify and highlight the good practices that we have from these regions and from the partners participating. And the good practices were highlighted at the application form as well, but only a small number, 20, 30 best practices. But the main issue of the project is to look for more to start with, to exchange these experiences between the regions through reading about them, through study visits and workshops. The regional conditions is analyzed, and the obstacles are also identified to develop regional strategies and action plans. That's the goal of the project. I will come back to that a bit later. So you could say that the whole project is to influence the future in these regions, to create the action plans in order to address the problems that we find concerning these issues in the different regions. So there will be different plans, and the project sort of ends when the plans are ready, and the implementation will be after the project is ready. The core of the project is what we call the MAGs, the multi-actor groups. And those are formed with the quadruple helix, and I'm happy that we've already gone through what that is, so I don't need to explain that. To have a very broad acceptance in the regions. So this has been the most important part, to form these groups. And the members are not sort of the partners of the project, they are of the society outside. And their work during these 2 years is to analyze the good practices. Well, first to see what are the obstacles in our regions, to analyze the good practices, to receive study visits, to go on study visits, to participate in the different workshops, and out of that create the action plans. In the project it's stated that they shall meet 6 times. We've now, since we've started, held between 2 and 3 meetings in the different regions, but we've also realized that it's not enough with those 6 times. So most of the regions have sort of put some extra seminars and so in between to reach the same level for the participants. The starting was also an inter-regional training for process coaches from the MAGs in order to enable efficient meetings, as there are quite a lot of people on these MAG meetings. As I mentioned, the next activity after the forming is the study visits. And the first goal was that everybody could meet everyone, but that wasn't possible with 8 countries and 9 regions, both with time and cost. So in the end, it was decided that each region should go on one study visit to one country and host another country in order to get information from at least 2 other countries. But also, of course, to study the reports from other study visits and to study the good practices. Those have now been taking place during, the last ones were finished yesterday actually. That was the the Greeks taking the Portuguese as guests. And the last days of November, we will have a workshop or 2 workshops in Italy when we will talk about the study visits, what we've learned, and we'll take this to the next level. And participating in the workshops will be people from the partners, of course, but especially researchers and people from the MAGs. So that's the next step, the workshops. So it's those 2 workshops in Italy now, and there will be a research workshop in Finland in March. And after that, all the regions should be ready to write their plans. That's the idea. So that will be the product of this project, 9 regional action plans. Added would also be improved policies that will come out from the work in the MAGs, policies for local and regional development. And in these regional action plans, it shall also be stated the activities for the next period, also where the funds can be raised in the regional funding and other fundings. And it shall be sort of decided by the group which holds politicians and people working with the funding. So that should be sort of the guarantee for the action of the action plans, you could say. The results will also have an impact on the European Union's next period for structural funds that will start in 2013. That's the goal, nevertheless. Well, I mentioned some of the activities. This is also, of course, just part of the activities, but the main ones. We started with the launching conference in Sweden in February. We've done a lot of work with communication material, and our core is our webpage, winet8.eu, where we have an internal area where we put all the documents that we collect in the different countries and all the reports and so on to us. So instead of sending all the documents back and forth. So that's working really good. We have an external evaluator who is also a researcher, but we also have head researchers from Finland and Sweden that are following the process and that will create articles and be part of the dissemination of the results. We have had the training of process coaches. We've had, apart from the launching conference, 1 partnership meeting, study visits going on now, and steering group meetings in connection with the partnership meetings. This is only sort of the main points, but of course a lot of work has been done in between. So that was it. Thank you.